From the En Route archives, things found in books, or things that you'll never be able to pull out of an e-reader. Here's a bookmark from the Western National Parks Association. Those places in California, I've quite a few I've visited. And if the ones I haven't visited are like the ones that I have visited, they're all worth visiting. On the back, it shows that each one of these places operates bookstores as well, which is, I suppose, why they have bookmarks, but also a welcoming sign. Travel books and travel guides and things like that are always fun to look through. Here's a ticket for graduation from the State University of New York at Albany, SUNY, from May 22nd, 1971. Right in the middle of the Vietnam War, so I imagine there were not just a few speeches made on addressing notions of our involvement there and of politics in a larger sense. I like having this piece to be a part of our first episode in Things Found in Books, because commencement means both a beginning and an ending, as just about any valedictorian will mention at commencement exercises. Here's an IBM punch card, probably from around 1965. These were used for data storage. Holes were punched in them, and then the cards were physically archived inside of the machine. So in this instance, there's an interesting relationship between the formal understanding of a machine and the formal understanding of a book, because this card's last job was to be a bookmark. Here's a dust jacket from the book The Selected Letters of John Keats, edited by the noted 20th century literary critic Lionel Trilling. From the price on the dust jacket, my guess is that this book came out around 1950. Also, the publishing house at the bottom of the bookmark, Farrar, Straus, and Young, by the 1960s became Farrar, Straus, and Giroux, and is now known more colloquially as FSG. Happy New Year in French. With a nice little note en français, signed by a few of their amis. Ringing in a new year. And this is appropriate since we are starting this program in January. Here's a hand-typed set of notations from somebody's reading of Alfred Lord Tennyson's famous poem Locksley Hall. The part of it that I found interesting is right at the top. I get the impression that Tennyson's mind was neither good nor intense enough to carry lasting convictions of its own. Ouch. But that he had the nose to the wind, and maybe perhaps, but he had his nose to the wind, and may perhaps be used as an intellectual weather vane of sorts. Well, my take on things is that having one's nose to the wind is a sign of a good and intense mind. This book plate bookmark, it was just an object found in an ancient book. I'm going to date from about 1906. I love the way that typographically it was common to place a period at the end of any title, including a title of one word, notice, period. How to open a book, period. I'd like to read to you this last paragraph. A connoisseur many years ago, an excellent customer of mine, who thought he knew perfectly how to handle books, came into my office when I had an expensive binding just brought from the bindery, ready to be sent home, meaning to a customer. He, before my eyes, took hold of the volume and, tightly holding the leaves in each hand, instead of allowing them free play, violently opened it in the center and exclaimed, "How beautifully your bindings open!" I almost fainted. He had broken the back of the volume, and it had to be rebound. This to me is an interesting metaphor, symbol for how, to be vulgarly generalizing, books are like people. In order for us as human subjects to not only open up, but to open, and in many ways to be the open, the leaves must be handled with care. And any violent opening of things can create more problems than they encounter. And even though sometimes a violent opening of our subjectivity is necessary, it should be done rarely. How cute.